Well, unusually, Hannah, we're going to select something from Sky Documentaries and Sky Showcase this week. It's a sports documentary about goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel. It's called Schmeichel, arriving on Sunday the 6th. It's showing at 9 p.m. And here's a clip.
Brutal, extremely demanding. Mistakes couldn't happen.
My name is Peter Boleslav.
Schmeichel! Peter Schmeichel!
Since I was a kid, I wanted to be on top.
It was the greatest goalkeeper we ever had.
The great thing.
People were climbing the floodlights to get the view of this very different type of keeper.
So for people who aren't particularly interested in football, Peter Schmeichel is a Danish goalkeeper who, well, he won the Euros with Denmark, and he also won the treble with Alex Ferguson's Manchester United. He's now a pundit. So this is a look back on his life and career, and football fans will be quite familiar with his playing highlights, and there are contributions from Alex Ferguson, the Manchester United manager, his teammates, Eric Cantona, Gary Neville, his family, and of course his son is a goalkeeper as well, who won the Premier League with Leicester. But for me, more interesting was the backstory of his family, because we find out that his father was from Poland and he was basically recruited to be a double agent. That was the price he had to pay to go and live in Denmark with this woman he'd met and fallen in love with. So that was an incredible story. And, his dad also then struggled with anger and with drink. And just the thought of how that impacted on young Peter. His dad was a musician as well, and he wanted his son to be a musician like him. And, I mean, the goalkeeper's... It's a position like no other, isn't it? Because, you are on your own. And he had this incredible will to win. And he looks back at, as well as looking back on the highs, he unexpectedly decided to leave Manchester United during their treble-winning season. And he remembers having a massive argument with Ferguson also previous to that. That wasn't the reason he left. And then controversially, he came back to English football to play for their arch rivals, Manchester City. And there's a great bit of footage where City are playing United and Gary Neville refuses to shake his hand in the tunnel. They used to be teammates. But he's a very likeable character, Schmeichel. But as I say, I mean, I was more than familiar with most of the football stuff, but it was the family element that really grabbed my attention. I mean, I know we're getting a lot of sports documentaries at the moment, but this is one of the good ones. What did you think, Hannah?
I love a sports documentary. I always think you find out so much more than the personality you've kind of been. I mean, unlike you, I don't know the football that well. So for me, that's kind of as like a side event of this. It's the fact that, you find out what their personality is like off the pitch. And actually, what's really interesting, they have interviews with Sir Alex Ferguson, and you kind of hear from people in the know in this, which is always great because it's just firsthand. But it's the idea that, Sir Alex Ferguson used to love a big personality on and off the pitch, the stand-up arguments, the rows, when he said, I'm going to let you go, but he actually didn't, leaving Man United of his own accord. And so, you see the real person. And I think quite often you sort of see a caricature of these people, don't you, on the pitch, or, this idea of what you think they're like. And then suddenly you realise. And also, I can't believe that he's 61 now. I mean, that's just unbelievable too. Really interesting story. And I think that so many of these footballers, so many sportswomen too, have such a great story that we don't really know about it. And hearing about their family life, and I always love to hear that kind of, not a rags to riches, but the kind of, the story of making it despite the odds, I suppose, is a better way of putting it. And there's quite a lot of that in football, particularly, I think, which is really good. So yeah, thoroughly recommend. Really enjoy sports documentaries like this.